We've been talking about several different contradictions that we see in the Zohar. Let me get a pencil here. Okay, we stopped at number Pei Vav. Pei Vav says, "V'bechinas Leah, Amiz the Vegas im Yaakov." He says on number Pei Vav. He says, "Amracha b'ki zun mizdavgim bechatzos laila." So they have a yichud at that time. Begam zecha b'nikru Shaar shua im haneshamos. So this is also considered to be what we had that question, rejoicing with the neshamas k'nizka the el b'techidus of this drush. Kihu inyan aliyas and the shama b'sod mayim nukvim aleya. That's the idea over there. So what does he say? He says, "Masha amra b'sha amro." What they said like this, bezoar. Shebechotzos laila naasa zivug dezun. Hakavanot the zivug de Yaakov aleya. Hanaasa betzilus. Behind the tzor zivug Yaakov aleya, in order to get to that yichud. L'kavein, he says, "Tzarech l'kavein la'alos mayim nukvein l'leah." So therefore, we have to bring something from down below to stimulate what the yichud for Leah. What are those that mana below? We're talking about you're going to sleep now. Well, let's say ha'olam, ha'vaman ha'olam heim nishamas tzadikim. V'gam nikvach b'chinas Shaar shua im nishamas. This is also called this aliyah, which causes man. Is also called it also is called the Shaar shua im nishamas kamo she'amar harav the el reish drush zu. That's a little bit more here. He says, "V'liyoski Yaakov aleya who sod acharayim atzmo." So let's go back to the Otzvos Chaim, and we see that they actually represents the backsides of Abba ve'Ima, k'mavur later that fell during the Shviras HaKelim. Kidduchem and Nikvas Leah Alma de Eskasia. She's called that name. Why that name? L'chein ha'azki ruhu b'shem zivug Abba ve'Ima. So therefore, and not to talk about, that's very interesting that he says this, in order not to avoid talking about Leah and her yichud, which is, he says this, she represents the Alma de Eskasia. He says, so therefore we call it by the name of Abba ve'Ima, but it's the zivug of Yaakov and Leah. So what it says over there, that the yichud takes place there in Abba ve'Ima, in one place in the Zohar. Ein hakavana k'peshuto, elo kavana the zivug de Yaakov aleya hanizkar, hu al pi mashin is boyer be'etz chaim. What's it say over there in Shaar Lamed Zayin? He said the parts of Yaakov na'asim acharayim the Abba is really made out of the fallen backside of Abba. Shenavtachu b'shvivus hakelim. Parts of Leah na'asim acharayim the Ima. Shenavtachu b'shvivus hakelim, that fell during the time of Shviras HaKelim. Ba'al kain kinoi b'zoher as zivug Yaakov aleya b'shem zivug de Abba ve'Ima, because that's actually where they come from. Harinis yashvo shlosha ma'amari hazoher. So if you think back to yesterday, you see the rest of them. Now there is here. Let me see. Where was I? Let me get this back. Where am I? Oh, here we go. Okay, so on page Kuf Pei Hey, back to that, there is a shefa here. And the shefa at the bottom says, the shefa kavona, it goes into V'yuhu inyan aliyas and the shama b'sod man aleya. So what's this about? Hiksha Hashem and Shah Salsam, the Hashem and Salsam is a kasha, l'kamon kasev marachu zel l'shana v'daki mori zel laila echad omar li kavona achas. One night he told me a kavana, the pasuk zeh, watch pasuk, b'yadaka avgiduchi. So what pshat over there? When we say that phrase, we say this, I say it, try to say it right before I go to sleep. But he wants to say, what's the kavana over here? V'yinyan talu im nachon pikadon in the kaven, pikadon ruchenu, it says ruchenu. If he's talking about depositing our ruach, be so the rochel, or b'yisod to Leah. Which one? So we know that Rachel goes down into Bria. Leah fills up the space. Ki b'kol shar halaylos yoser tov shelo lekavim ela b'gavana hanal. So most lights, it's which kavana he means. Asher he miyusedes al ki yosem mafkidim ruchenu, by depositing our ruach b'yisod Rachel b'sod man, and that's the idea that it's coming up to Rachel and it's my nukvin to Rachel. According to that moment, also he saw now he's saying this like it's personal, that it's necessary for me to do this. Ad kan lashona. Over there, if you look over there, the ba'ofen harogil, that the normal way, he says, Olam and the Shamba B'layla, the Yisod Rachel, that's the way that it normally is that it goes up to the Yisod of Rachel, V'lo L'Leah. Ve'elo kan mevur de'aliyah L'Leah, but here it says that. L'metaretz Hashem and Sasan, so which is it? So the Shem and Shar's answer of the Yeshnem Shnei Inyane Aliyah, Shal the Neshamos, there's different kinds of ways that the Neshamos actually go up. One is as a deposit, like safekeeping. And the second one goes according to the secret of the elevation of my nukvin, for the purpose of yichud. So that one, he says, Hu liyisod Rachel, that's the one that goes to Rachel. Kamosha Kasa the Kamad, we're going to see this later on. He said, because of Sham Shukut, Rachel the Kad Shaus Akolo. Now at this point I realized that I had forgotten what's going on in the Kad Shaus Akolo. And if you want, we could go to the back and we could look at it again. I marked it back there where it talks about that. It's a 3-day yichud. Now the question is that which one is this? Because of Sham Shuhu L'Rachel the Kad Shaus Akolo. Ulevad Mezecha Ba'olach and the Neshama the Yisod Leah. And besides this, the Neshama goes up into the Yisod of Leah. B'gdei L'Ora Man L'Zivu Yaakov Rachel the Chatzis Alayla. This is not the Kad Shaus. V'ayin Od B'Shari Rachmem Masha Kasa B'Zeh. So let me just go back over here. Let me give you a page reference. Try to remember what this is on page Tov Mem Gimel in the back, just for a refresher, and it's for me, I'm probably sure you remember. He says, Biyom Rishon, over here on Tov Mem Gimel. It says on the first day of the 3-day cycle, 3-day cycle, here we go. B'yom Rishon na'asa tikun ha'ach shel partzuf v'zun. This is where the tikun of the backside comes, of the partzuf v'dom and the sakte b'yom zev v'han shniknasim v'mochen da'ach l'zeranpe. V'hu mamshicham el chanuk v'nisakenes af hi be'eser sfirosecho. So this is the basic beginning. On the first day, parts of we were bringing in the acharayim. Then it said b'yom ha'sheni, on the second day, and na'aseh ha'chelek ha'sheni shel ha'tikun, the b'lechilas alayla, at the beginning of the night, the na'aseh dormita mistalekas ha'mocha mizah. So this is the process of the Nesira. V'nimshach in ha'mocha dechadidivuna el ha'nuk, and then the mochim go directly into the nuk. L'achar mekan b'chatzis alayla, Olim zun l'chek Abba ve'ima, then there's a yichud that takes place at the chek of Abba ve'ima, v'zdavim zivug bir rishona, and that's the beginning yichud, the kli v'rucha. V'la'achar mekan nimshach in the zun ha'mochin d'ponim, and then after that, the mochin d'ponim come in. Now, exactly where this aliyah of man is going, he says that it's going to Rachel of Kad Shaus. So let's read the last one. B'yom ha'shlishi, b'techilas alayla, at the beginning of the night, he says, Mistalek ha'mochim mezun. V'yordin zun l'biyah, l'varach birurim b'cholomos biyah, La'alos and Laman, and to bring them up. This is like the way we see it, I guess, at the normal midnight when Rachel is going down into Bria. With the Tefillah Shachris, then comes the morning. Chozrim v'lo'olam yachad im olamos bia dechatzilus v'birurim hayomim anivrarchim v'olchim b'tefillah Shachris. So this is the culmination that takes place at Sim Shalom. This is the one, that takes place in Nefilas Apayim. So then a yichud takes place in Abba v'Niba, v'noldim mochim chadashim yosim ma'ulav v'nimshach nezun. The lachem mekan b'Nefilas Apayim, the chakras, there it is, na'asach of the zivug hagomer l'holeda. So then after that takes place, then you have a real yichud. That's just a little refresher on that. Let's see what time we have here. Okay, we have another couple of minutes. Let's get started with Godel Ma'alas Oses Seder Dikunim Shalalade B'Dukadeboy. So that's where we're at right now, back on page Kuf Pei Vav. So I guess we'll look down here in the TIV, read from the TIV. And the TIV says, Haklal ha'olech b'zecha b'chusha tzarka al dehisnageg ba'ofen zecha shenivoyer. So that's really necessary for a person to go according to the way that we're going to explain it, has been explained. V'yidei ken yihya ahuv l'malo v'nech b'lamada. Amoshkim alav chut shel chesed b'yom, and it causes that flow of this chut shel chesed. V'yihya nikra meklal b'nei heichel d'matronisa kedisha, and then that title is placed on that neshama. So he says, he gedisha, ba'achar sheboyer rab, ba'richos es anyanim ana'asa b'chatzes alada ve'inyan neshena. Now, a lot of this I've really definitely forgotten, but we're going back into it. Maflig b'ma'alas adam azoicha l'sader kol adikun karoi. This is wants to really point this out, of how a person can grow. Shuhu alchov lamala v'nech b'lamata. V'yizke sheyimshuch b'dachav chut shel chesed b'yom. And this procedure that you do at nighttime, which basically means to get up at chatzos, I believe, and say tikkun chatzos, and then learn Torah after that. V'yihicha nikra b'mnei heichel d'matronisa kedisha. They'll be called by that title. And who is the Matronisa Kadesha? That's the Shechina. Become a child of the Shechina. Apparently what he's saying is that is how important this is. Like when the people talk about the tears of the Shechina. She's involved in our lives, and we have free choice, and so therefore we make mistakes. And how she weeps over us. So this is the cure for it. To get up, or this is that's a tremendous positive thing. Amar Rebbe Shimon Kavayochel. Rebbe Shimon says, like the call inen duchten the zochen the ishtad the bereisa. Anybody that's able to do that. The makad palig lelya, and when night splits, v'hasim b'matronisa kad nachar yamama the kabla anfin the malcha, and they go up when the morning comes to actually come up and see the face, so to speak, of the malcha, of the king. Iski v'achsin b'shchinta. So I'm not sure exactly what the but the shchinta, they could join in with the shchinta v'lo, but not just that. Although the shari beichut shel chesed, but as a result of that, something special happens to them. Kamado kidma adkan, as this been kudu kimna, that's been explained. So I guess we're at that point here. We'll go over to the Sifra Tzniuta, and let me make a mark where this belongs.